This video is dedicated to all you bitches who want to play games and act like there's nothing that you can do to provoke a man to want to knock your fucking block off and wrap their fingers around your fucking little neck and strangle you until your body is fucking limp and shit. This is dedicated to y'all because y'all like to play games and act like there's nothing that you can do to provoke a man and shit. So I'm going to tell you my fucking story. And you tell me at the end of it how you would feel and shit. What you would feel like doing to this bitch. All right? So when I was 18 years old, I met this woman. This woman was everything I ever wanted in a woman and shit. I mean, she was beautiful. She was from the Caribbean. She had an accent. She had a sexy walk, which is the most important thing to me. You can't just be flopping around and shit. Like, if you got your walk together, that's the first thing I'm going to fucking notice and shit. Everything was perfect. We had so much in common. You know, we can just laugh and talk for fucking days. So a year goes by. We're together for a whole year. Her mom comes out and meets me. Her mom and I hit it off very well. And her mom would try to tell her things like, yo, this is what you got to do to keep a man. I would get up in the morning while her mom was out visiting. And her mom would have my fucking clothes ironed out for work. All the stuff that she knows goes inside my pockets was sitting on the table right next to my fucking iron clothes and shit. And she had breakfast on the damn table. And she would always tell her daughter, this is what you have to do. This is the way that you take care of a man. But her hard-headed fucking daughter never wanted to listen to her and shit. Okay? But anyway, we were together for about a year at this time. And this is when George Bush, stupid ass, said that he was going to sign a bill saying that if you weren't married by April 30th, 2001, that you were never going to be able to become a citizen in this country and shit. So everybody panicked. This was my girl. I was with her for a whole year, every day, tough. Everything was well at the time, so I thought. And I wasn't going to let her get deported. I mean, I just wasn't going to do it. There was nobody else going to help her but me. And I guess I was the sucker, you know what I mean? So I decided to marry her, even though I didn't want to get married. I did love her at the time, after a whole year of being with her, but I didn't want to get married. But I did it because I didn't want to see her go. Because of that and shit. So I married her and, things started to go downhill after a couple of years. I started to notice things about her that just didn't sit well with me and shit. Like, I noticed that she forgot where she came from. Like, she came from the Caribbean, a place where they don't even have TVs in the fucking house and shit. Like, their toilet is outside. They have no hot water. They're taking cold showers and shit. A lot of these motherfuckers don't even know what shoes are and shit, okay? They don't have washing machines. They got to go down to the river and beat the fucking clothes clean with a damn stone and shit. Like literally, I'm not even joking. Like, it's that poor over there where she's from. Okay, so I figured, this woman is really going to appreciate everything that I do for her because she ain't never seen nothing like this before. You know what I'm saying? I'm her knight in shining armor. That's the way I felt and shit. And, she started to become very materialistic and shit and money hungry and shit. And this bitch had to have cable and, different pairs of shoes and all types of shit, right? But I'm her man, you know what I'm saying? I'm her husband. Even though I didn't want to get married after a certain amount of time, we just lived the life as a married couple. We moved in together and we had kids and shit like that. So I felt the responsibility as a man to take care of all of that shit for her. And I even told her, look, you don't even have to fucking work. I make enough money. I can take care of everything myself. Just take care of the fucking kids. Go to school if you want to. Because that's what she always cried about she wanted to do. She always wanted to go to school. She would cry with tears streaming down her fucking little ugly fucking mug and shit. She wasn't ugly, but, she pissed me off so much towards the end that she just started looking fucking ugly to me and shit. Because your attitude shines out, from the inside and shit. So she would have, tears streaming down her face and shit. And I would tell her, everything's going to be okay. I got you, like a sucker and shit. And, I paid thousands of fucking dollars to get her paperwork together, to get her passport renewed and her visa and all of that type of stuff. Thousands over thousands of fucking dollars. Like, my life savings and shit up to this point. I had been saving money since I was 16 years old, and all of that shit was gone trying to help this bitch. Now, here's the thing where shit really just started to like go downhill for me. Okay. This bitch told me, now we had gotten pregnant before we were together for a year. Just before a year, she had gotten pregnant. And she told me when I came home from work one day, her and her friends were all in the huddle and shit when I walked through the door. And they passed me the blunt and told me to sit down and shit. So I sit down and they're telling me that, she lost the baby and shit, And, I felt bad. I was crushed and shit. This is my first child and shit. I was excited. My mom's was excited. Her mom's was excited. Everybody was excited for this baby and shit. And so, I comforted her and shit and told her everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. We'll have another one, whatnot, or whatever. So 2 years later after this, after we're married and everything, we were having an argument. This bitch told me that she aborted the damn baby. She aborted the fucking baby and told me out of anger, like to get under my skin, to piss me off. She didn't even tell me like before we got married, like, yo, I think that I should tell you this, to make sure everything is fresh with us, going into this marriage. Or even if she didn't tell me before we got married, if she was going to tell me, she should have told me to clear her conscience and to make everything cool with us so that we wouldn't have secrets between us and shit. But this bitch did it just to fucking make me angry and shit. She told me out of anger to hurt me and shit. If that's not enough to want to knock a bitch's teeth down her throat, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what is. I mean, I would have been mad even if she had told me just to get it off her chest and shit, like in a good way, on a lighter note. But she told me to hurt my fucking feelings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the type of shit that I dealt with this bitch. And I'm going to tell you how it all ended, okay? And I'm going to tell you what's going on now. Now, we were together for about going on 13 years, okay? Because we had kids. We have 2 sets of twins together, beautiful kids. And I didn't want them to have to live in a split home and shit. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be there every day with them. And for us both to be there for them and shit. That's our job. That's our responsibility and shit. But you can't always do that. You can't always make it work for the kids. It doesn't always work out that way. But, towards the end, things started getting real bad and shit. And she started just trying to start arguments with me for no reason and shit. Like, I'll come home from work after working hard all day while this bitch is here doing nothing, watching TV, reality shows and shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll come home and this bitch ain't got nothing to eat and shit. That's her only fucking job. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything. I was the only one working. I bought every single piece of fucking clothing this bitch owns and shit. All the shoes and all the bills paid by me alone because I was trying to be a man and shit. And, I come home one day and I'm sitting in my room. And she comes in and starts shuffling my shit out the fucking closet and shit onto the floor. And so I'm thinking, okay, I had a feeling like this bitch was trying to start something with me for a couple of weeks. Like she would talk shit about me with somebody on the phone. I didn't care who it was at this point because I was already done. So what I would do was I would put my iPad or my iPhone, I put my headphones into it and I would just listen to music and put my headphones in so I didn't have to hear what she was talking about. And I'd do it right in front of her. Just to piss her off. Like, you can talk all you want to, you're not going to get a reaction out of me and shit. So, I guess she got fed up with that. So, she decided to, try to throw my shit out the fucking window and shit. So, I told her, look, you're not about to throw my shit out the fucking window. I paid for everything in this motherfucking house. Like, these are the clothes that I have to wear. I only have a fraction of what you got because I spent all my money dressing you up and shit. You're not about to throw all my shit, the shit that I got to go to work in, out the fucking window. So I started grabbing my shit out of her hands, not even touching her, because I already know she's trying to get me to do something to her. So as I'm grabbing my stuff out of her hands, this bitch is screaming that I'm putting my hands on her and shit. She's talking about, don't put your hands on me. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not touching you, but I'm not entitled to let you throw my shit that I paid for out this fucking house and shit. Like, you're not going to do that to my shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do it to your shit because I bought all that shit too. You know what I'm saying? So she's going crazy and getting loud. I guess she wants the neighbors to call the police and shit. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna beat this bitch at her own fucking game and shit. Guess what I did? Picked up that motherfucking phone and dialed 911 on her bitch ass. The police came here. Well, actually, while I was on the phone with the police, they heard that she was going crazy in the background. They heard I was calm on the phone. I was like, yeah, you know, she's acting crazy for no reason. I'm telling them the whole story and shit. They believe me because they can hear it. They can hear it in the background. So by the time the police got there, you know, they took her ass to jail. Plus, she threw a chair at me while I was on the phone with them. And when I went to slap the chair away, it broke my finger and shit. And so they hauled her ass off to jail, and I didn't care. I didn't give a damn. I didn't care one little bit. I was happy that they took her ass to jail because the bitch deserved it and shit. And that bitch ain't been in this house since that fucking day. But what she was doing was, when she got her court date, which was on a Monday, she went to court and played a domestic violence victim. Like, I don't know what kind of stupid ass fucking judge that she had who didn't read the damn file, but he let her go and dropped all the fucking charges because all she had to do was say that she was a domestic violence victim and shit. This bitch went and checked herself into a fucking battered woman shelter and all types of shit, trying to paint me out to be a fucking woman beater and shit. When I never once, the entire fucking relationship, put my hand on this bitch when I had plenty of fucking reasons to do it and shit. Plenty of fucking reasons. I don't care what any woman says. There are reasons that you bitches deserve to be knocked out. Okay? And this bitch gave me several of them, and I never did one time. And even my own mother said, son, don't never let a woman put her hands on you. If a woman hits you, knock her motherfucking ass out. My mom told me that. But I never even followed that advice because I knew that that was going to just fuck me over and shit. And I know that that's not right. I know I'm way stronger. Like, she might fuck around and die if I punch her with a hard punch in the face. You know what I'm saying? So I know that. I'm not going to do that. I know that that's not right. But for y'all to sit here and act like y'all don't be doing shit to provoke a motherfucker, man, y'all need to cut the bullshit. Okay? Stephen A. Smith was 100% right in what he said. And what inspired me to make this video, I saw two videos from 78 Sports TV on the Stephen A. Smith situation. I also saw a video from Divine Sense. So it inspired me to share this story with y'all bitches out there who want to act like y'all just can't do wrong and shit. Y'all bitches know what the fuck y'all be doing. You're not right. You know, you want to be independent and you want to be taken care of at the same fucking time. And you don't have any appreciation for anything. You know, after all the money that I spent on that bitch, she's walking around talking about I beat her up and that I never gave her any money. Like, this bitch is really serious. She said, I never gave her any money. I never spent any money on her. When I would get paid, I would just keep all the money to myself and shit, which was never fucking true. I used to give her the money to pay all the damn bills and do whatever the fuck she wanted to do to make her life fucking easy, even when she didn't deserve that shit. Do you know how infuriating that is to know that you gave this bitch all your fucking money? You sacrificed everything that you wanted in fucking life for this bitch. She would have never been able to get a job or go to school or anything if it wasn't for you. She wouldn't even be in this country if it wasn't for you. And this bitch is running around telling people that I never did nothing for her. If that's not enough reason to want to knock her motherfucking teeth down her throat, then I don't know what is. But anyway, that's my story. I just wanted to share with y'all. We all make mistakes, you know, and I'm turning this negative into a positive because I had to go through the pain and suffering just to make sure that my two sons and my two daughters don't ever have to go through that. I'm going to teach them so fucking much. You know, I went through the pain for them. Now I'm going to make sure that they never have to go through the same pain. So if anything good came from that, that's about it. You know, and plus my kids, I love them all to death. So I'm happy for that. Everything happens for a reason. But if you're young out there, and I don't care how much you love your girl, man, do not marry her right away, man. Don't get married young. Wait until you get your shit together. And if you're a young man out there, make sure that you choose a woman who has her shit together, who has her mind in the right spot. Don't fuck with these independent fucking women, man. Don't do it, because an independent woman needs to be exactly that, independent on her fucking own. She don't need to be independent in a relationship with you. She's just gonna make your life fucking miserable. But anyway, you guys leave your comments at the bottom. I'm out. Deuce.